Hello, guys. A red carpet appearance, a few viral photos, and suddenly America is apparently experiencing mass psychosis. That's the claim. Jim Carrey shows up at France's biggest film night looking noticeably different, social media reacts, and within hours, the conversation isn't about Hollywood, aging, or cosmetic procedures. It's about Trump supporters. How did we go from, did he get work done, to this is a political cult attack? Tonight, we're unpacking the full timeline, what actually happened, what was said on The View, and why this entire situation says more about media framing than it does about Jim Carrey's face. Quick pause if you enjoy real, unfiltered Hollywood deep dives, hit subscribe. We're close to 1,000 subscribers, and one click from you genuinely helps. So let's get into it. It begins at the 51st César Awards in France. Jim Carrey walks the red carpet. He gives interviews, he smiles for cameras, he delivers remarks on stage. Nothing controversial in his speech, nothing inflammatory. But then screenshots start spreading. Clips zoom in on his face. Viewers notice puffiness around the cheeks, a slightly altered eye symmetry, facial tightness that some interpreted as cosmetic work. And immediately, social media splits into camps. He clearly had plastic surgery. No, he didn't. That's aging. It's just bad lighting. It's swelling. Why does he look like that? This is Hollywood. Appearance matters. It's a visual industry. Observations are inevitable. But what should have stayed a pop culture conversation didn't stay there. Soon after the clips went viral, the hosts of The View addressed the controversy. Sunny Hostin criticized what she described as cruelty online and suggested that much of the mockery stemmed from Trump supporters. Joy Behar agreed, going further by labeling the reaction as mass psychosis. Whoopi Goldberg echoed concerns about online bullying and political toxicity, and just like that, the narrative pivoted. It wasn't about facial changes anymore. It was about politics. Here's the core question. How did a conversation about appearance become a referendum on political ideology? There were certainly trolls online, that's guaranteed, but there were also neutral observers, entertainment fans, even people outside U.S. politics entirely. Many were simply asking, did he get work done? Hollywood has normalized cosmetic procedures for decades. Actors, actresses, hosts, it's common. So why frame curiosity as partisan aggression? That's the leap people are struggling with. Let's step back. Jim Carrey has been in the public eye for over 30 years. From elastic-faced comedy roles to dramatic performances, his expressions are part of his brand. In recent years, audiences have embraced him again through family-friendly blockbusters like the Sonic franchise. So when someone known for exaggerated facial performance appears different, viewers notice. That's not psychosis. That's familiarity. When you've watched someone for decades, even small changes stand out. Now yes, some fringe comments online went too far. There were exaggerated claims, even bizarre clone jokes circulating in certain corners of the internet. But here's the thing. Those fringe voices don't represent the majority of viewers. Amplifying extreme examples and then applying them to millions of people creates a distorted picture. It becomes easy to say, look how insane everyone is. But were everyone insane or just a loud minority? Adding fuel to the fire was Carrey's recent appearance on Jimmy Kimmel Live. During that segment, he jokingly referenced Hollywood elites and made playful but pointed comments. Some believe that moment made him a target. Others think it's unrelated. Either way, it fed speculation that backlash might be politically motivated. But again, correlation doesn't equal causation. Sometimes the internet simply reacts to visuals. Critics argue that certain daytime shows often interpret viral events through a political framework, especially when culture war narratives are trending. Supporters of those shows say they're protecting celebrities from online abuse. Both perspectives can exist at once, but there's a noticeable fatigue among viewers when every trending topic, no matter how small, becomes a political war zone. When celebrity fashion becomes political, when hairstyles become political, when facial swelling becomes political. Eventually, audiences ask, can anything just be pop culture anymore? Let's slow this down and deal with the core issue directly. If Jim Carrey had minor cosmetic work done, that's not illegal. It's not immoral. It's not shocking. And if he didn't, that's completely fine too. The truth is, Hollywood has always been obsessed with image. Youth sells, symmetry sells, smooth skin sells, and actors, especially those who've been in the spotlight for decades, face enormous pressure to maintain a certain look. This isn't new, it's not controversial, it's the industry. Think about the environment, red carpets with 4K cameras inches from your face, ultra-high-definition close-ups, social media freeze frames dissecting every wrinkle, endless comparison photos from 1995 to 2026. That pressure builds over time. Studios want bankable faces, agents want longevity, PR teams want relevance, brands want timeless. And when you're a global star, every subtle change becomes headline material. Now let's talk about reality for a second. Post-procedure swelling can last weeks. Lighting can drastically alter facial structure. Angles can create asymmetry. Weight fluctuations change facial fullness. Even simple fatigue can impact how someone looks under harsh flash photography. There are dozens of rational explanations for why someone might appear different on a single night. None of those explanations require a political theory. None of them require labeling half the country. And none of them require turning curiosity into a cultural crisis. Here's the bigger story. This didn't explode because people asked about plastic surgery. It exploded because we live in a moment where everything escalates instantly. Social media doesn't allow neutral conversations anymore. It rewards extremes. If someone says, "He looks different," the algorithm pushes, "He ruined his face." Then someone counters with, "You're bullying him." Then someone escalates to, "You're politically motivated." And before you know it, a red carpet discussion becomes a battlefield. Add in daytime talk shows like The View, where discussions are often framed through political lenses, and the temperature rises even faster. Suddenly, what began as visual speculation becomes a morality debate, a political loyalty test, a psychological diagnosis of society. Instead of, "Did he get work done?" it becomes, "This proves America is unstable." That's the escalation, and escalation is profitable. Controversy drives engagement, engagement drives ratings, ratings drive headlines. Calm conversations don't trend, outrage does. There's also a feedback loop happening. A viral clip spreads, social media reacts, a major talk show reacts to the reaction. News outlets report on the talk show reaction. Social media reacts again, but louder. Now the story isn't even about the original event anymore. It's about the reaction to the reaction to the reaction. And somewhere in that loop, nuance disappears. The average viewer who simply noticed a change gets lumped in with the most extreme voices online. That's where people start feeling misrepresented. There's also a deeper cultural tension here. Are we allowed to notice physical changes in celebrities, or is that automatically considered body shaming? Hollywood itself thrives on appearance analysis, fashion critiques, makeup breakdowns, who wore it better, before and after transformations. Those conversations are normalized until they become uncomfortable. The line between observation and cruelty matters. But we shouldn't blur that line so much that any observation becomes an accusation of harassment. Because if everything is bullying, then nothing is. At the end of the day, Jim Carrey remains one of the most talented entertainers of his generation. His legacy isn't defined by a single red carpet photo. Noticing change isn't automatically cruelty. Asking questions isn't automatically harassment. And disagreeing with a narrative isn't automatically political extremism. Maybe this was simply a celebrity appearing different, the internet reacting, and media outlets amplifying the most dramatic interpretation possible. That's it. No grand conspiracy, no national psychosis, no ideological war, just the modern outrage machine doing what it does best. But now I genuinely want your take. Did you notice a difference? Do you think it was cosmetic work? Was it just aging, lighting, camera distortion? Let's keep it thoughtful. Let's keep it rational. Drop your perspective below. And if you appreciate long-form breakdowns that slow down viral chaos, instead of fueling it, subscribe and stick around. Because the next deep dive, it might be even bigger.